What's up, everybody? I'm Nova coming at you with another one. I will do my best to keep this short and sweet. It's very difficult because I'm guilty of rambling on, trying to cover as much as possible. Anyway, we are going to check in on AAX Advance Gold Corp, headquartered in Vancouver, I believe, and they're working on something in Mexico, some anomaly, as the CEO puts it, doing test drills, looking for some samples for gold and silver. And they've increased their density search, looking a little deeper below the anomaly to see if they see more gold and silver than they've been finding. There's also news about them getting into the lithium end of things. And as you know, everything on the planet is trying to cut the cord. Everything wants to run on a battery. And right now, the most efficient storage of energy is the lithium ion battery. More energy per gram is stored in lithium until they come up with a new fandangled way to do things. Your laptop, your cell phone, your bike computer, your, I don't know, your camera, and now your car. Everything is running on lithium batteries. So the lithium play seems like a smart move to adopt as well. I don't know. I don't know how much this man can stretch with regards to um, trying to mine everything. I don't know if he's going to subsidize the mining. There's talk as well about acquiring a processing plant for like $175. Can't be much of a processing plant for under $1 million. So it might be a rinky dink thing. The one thing that this CEO keeps talking about is he wants to make profit based on lower expenses. And that seems like a smart move for me, but it also tells me that he's a very small player. And that's a double edged sword, right? A small player could fail. And this is TSXV, and there are lots of failures. 90% of stocks on the TSX is mining. Not much of anything else aside from big names. And the other side of the sword is, I mean, he could strike it, and then a large company could turn around, come in, and buy them out. And that's what I've been hoping on with regards to my positions in this stock. Anyways, let's get on to the chart. So I squared the range from this bottom to the 50% mark, the 0.5 mark, because I think we're going to go up higher. And you can see how that wedge pattern fits nicely within the GAN box. And then we see the breakdown, right? Total resistance up around the, what is that, the 16.5 range, round over. And then we had, that's our lower low. So, sorry, lower high. So we had double top, triple top, slightly lower high, and then a lower high, and we had lower lows. So we had lower lows first, then a lower high, and then a lower low, and then what looked like a lower high, and then a higher low to a higher high. It looks like a trend reversal, doesn't it? But what is the overall trend? We're still rolling over and we're low energy. So we're waiting to see if we can find another angle of support. You can see how price was following this angle here and then met resistance on this angle here. And then cloning the GAN box over is why we're looking for future angles of support. So if I zoom in, the next angle of support, we are approaching very soon. In fact, I would even argue that we are there right now. And the next phase, hopefully, it will be a move back up to this resistance point. And I would probably bet that that is the next destination before we, do our zigzag. So I'm starting to feel bullish on this. I've collected a bit more shares in a different position. Um, I guess basically I got, was it 50,000 order status? I don't need that much. Last 3 days. Yeah. 50,000 at 9 cents. So another position. And then I'll probably, this may be close to my bottom, and then I'll sell my upper positions for like, I don't know, 1 cent profit or something like that. You can see that I canceled this order here. I was going to sell 100,000 at 17 cents, but because the direction was down, and if somebody can see level 2 and they see 100,000 shares sitting at 17 cents, that's going to scare people into selling. So I basically took the bid off to show some, or contribute to more blue sky to the upside, and then hopefully uh, instill confidence in investing and then driving the price up. I don't know if anyone else is doing the same thing, but that's usually a tactic that um, I like to do. I like to contribute to the liquidity and offer the ability. And then when we get up around 17, if we break out, I'll probably sell at 17 or maybe a little higher. And then I will come in with a bid immediately after at say 16, 16.5, and then create a 100,000 bid floor. And if I don't get it, my other positions are making money. If I do get it, I've increased my share count. So that's, you've heard it in many of my videos. That's the way I do things. So we're very close to a potential move. If we look at indicators, we're looking for confirmations, and we can see that RSI is very close to bottoming out. In fact, it's very close to a support level with previous RSI. You can see that like we're right about there. And the money flow index is close to its support level. I won't draw a line because you can see the dotted line right about there. We had a dip under below, but we do see bounces within the RSI and money flow index zone. This, what is it? The 20 to the 30 level. That's why I like these two in tandem. And if we look at APO MACD, same thing. We're on the half day, and we can see a slight attempt and now a curling again, and potential. We're like at balance point levels as well. And if I go full screen on this, actually I should probably, I should squeeze this down a bit, and we can see the wedge pattern that we've been following for all this time. So if you look at the spacing of these heartbeats, we're getting close. Plus, we have the compression of this wedge happening. And I think we would probably break, I think we'll break the 17 cent barrier once this noise is above this line. And that means it would have to break out. I guess I'll have to move this date here. So maybe June, we'd be having a run. And if we're looking at this noise here, I think this is where I had the original date. In order for us to break that, like we're right on the cusp, right? So it could be that bounce territory is very, very close, reaching a support compression line here, potential run to the upside, but nothing runs in a single direction nonstop. You can see there are pit stops, right? And when we go up, we see more zigzags as compared to down, and that's why people favor shorting, because the shorters make money pretty quick, but they can also lose money pretty quick. So I prefer the shorter, easier cruising speed. And I think we're very close to a turn again. So we'll have to wait and see if we find support on this tangent. But we could see wicks down to the 8 cent. Is it 8 cent? I'm just trying to line up off of that. 8.5, 9 cents. Anyways, so we're at 9 cents. I think there was 330,000 shares at 9 cents yesterday. And most of it got sold off. There's only like 25,000 left. And there's only 23,000 ask at 9.5. That might get snagged up pretty soon. And then we'll probably be testing the 10 cent, 11 cent. I think 11 cent was another pivot. So it could be that if we bounce, we'll hit maybe 11 cents and then come down to 10, 10.5 before we challenge more momentum to the upside. So it could be that, I think if we do run up 12 cents, maybe down to 10, 10 is right about here, and that kind of lines up. And if this thing wants to zigzag, I mean, it's going to have to really take off. But this may be the angle we are looking at moving into the future. And what I'm hoping is that we break this quadrant. We do a bounce and we break this quadrant here, because then we've got range expansion, and we're heading to a point where, the cycle might end, which would be up around 16.5 or so. And then we got to look for support above. So what we actually want, we want a run to break the 16.5, likely go up to about 21, 23, and then it'll come back down to around 16.5 as support, because we've had a lot of chatter down here. So previous resistance will become future support. And this price level here at 21 or so seems to line up very close to right about here. Let's have a look at weekly. We're already up to about 13 minutes. Sorry, guys. I just can't help it. I think ultimately 22, that might be the next destination. And here's why. So we got this close here, and that is resistance in the past, right? So, support. So previous support becomes future resistance. So that price level might be an important price level that we need to break through. But for now, we just have that bounce happening. And excuse me, we do see money flow index here at the halfway point as well on the weekly and flattening out. So again, another sign of potential accumulation before we go to take off. Something else is jumping out at me just now. Right about there. And we can also see the 1/8 right here as potential future support. So we've got an intersection that's showing up there. So something to think about. Let me delete that. And I think that is it for AAX. Check them out. Do your DD. I don't know if you guys are already into this one. I just have a funny feeling that this thing is getting ready, right? We had a lot of resistance here. We've had our first attempt, low volume red candles. And now I think our next bounce is coming into play. Just looking at something else. This is above zero cross, so green candles on the monthly. But the weekly, that is the low volume accumulation candles before a move happens. So yeah, I'm sitting on this one for a while. Anyways, that's my video for the day on AAX. Let me know what you think. You agree, disagree? Is this a putz move? Let's get that thumbnail looking good here. Haven't even covered moving averages, and I think at this price level it might be a little difficult to handle anyway. So there we have it. AAX, trade safe.